Hi, this is Steve Mack. I'm a New York-based photographer and have been doing it since, I was 10 years old, professionally. For my father, who was a lawyer, I used to take crime scene photos for him, scenes of accidents. So I've had a lot of experience. I cover entertainment, editorial entertainment for several large agencies, and I love what I do. I've also been a DJ at some major clubs in the 70s and 80s, and still do it every now and then for private events for friends of mine and acquaintances and colleagues and so forth. I had the idea years ago to start a cable show called Your New York, where I interviewed artists and musicians, mostly, some celebrities. Actually, I interviewed Grandmaster Flash and Rakim before they went to Madison Square Garden. And Rakim actually remembered that when I saw him at a photo shoot last year. We shot that interview at his publicist's house. So it's always been a love of mine to do cable access. Now with YouTube, I can explore those opportunities even more with all these digital cameras and the ability to shoot pretty much anywhere with an iPad, iPhone, or a digital SLR camera. So in the 80s, I worked as a studio manager at a place called Metro Access. Metro Access was a public access studio, I think one of only two that had the capability of broadcasting live cable shows on Manhattan cable television.
Certainly helped us excellently.
This is Steve. Why don't you come up some Tuesday and be my guest? You were one of my best guests.
Okay, I will do that.
Oh, thank you very much for calling,
Okay.
Steve. Thank you.
It was quite an experience. I actually started out learning how to do television production at the suggestion of several friends of mine who were helping me get into the television business. And the first place I went to was Metro Access. Metro Access was on East 23rd Street, right next to Manhattan Cable TV. In fact, we had cables going from the control rooms of Metro Access Studios, formerly known as ETC Studios, right into a window at Manhattan Cable Television. And those cables went directly into their on-air system, to their master control. So we had live shows, some phone-in shows, some magazine-type shows with video roll-ins and slides and graphics. And very interesting guests. In fact, I can think of several shows right now. The most elaborate show, I would have to say, that was live during that time was a show called Tomorrow's Television Tonight, otherwise known as T3.
My character was one that made them look bad, so it created 15 minutes being cut out of the plot. That troubled me only because the character was not fully explained.
That show actually had A-list celebrities that were up and coming, such as Michelle Pfeiffer, who I actually had to bring up to the green room. You know, I was obviously starstruck to meet her, but the advent of these digital SLR cameras has given opportunity to not only amateurs and new filmmakers and videographers, but it has also assisted major movie and television producers with the ability to have a portable, low-cost set of cameras and lenses that are just phenomenal. I mean, I can name several shows that have used Canon DSLRs. For example, the series 24 is one of them. That series House, which is on television, on several episodes used the Canon 5D, and I think the Canon 1D Mark IV, which is what I'm using at the moment for this video broadcast on YouTube. So with that in mind, I decided to augment my photographic ability and go back to my video roots. And by doing so, I decided to start a television show featuring entertainment, because that's fun. Obviously, it's fun to get into the lives of people we see on television and movies and theater, dance, and music. So I decided to start a show called New York Nights. It's probably one of the most overused names in the industry, but I love the idea, and I also understand that the show that I used to have called You're in New York, there is a show called You're in New York right now. So, in honor of several friends of mine who've had shows called New York Nights, this is New York Nights. I'm Steve Mack, and I will not only touch on subjects that are entertainment oriented, but subjects that are current and hot topics today, especially in the subject matter of certain political and global issues, which I have as late become passionate about, and I'll explain why later. But for now, welcome to New York Nights. Coming up in New York Nights, we'll speak with Jerome Johnson, who happens to be the inventor of the reflective umbrella, which photographers use every day.
That was really a matter of, with my own equipment, always building something that would make it easier for me to do or better. And when you are mechanically capable of doing it, you got a workshop, which my father had in the basement, tools. It was instinctive for my friends that were into taking pictures to say, "Hey Johnson, can you end up making this for me? I got an idea." And you'd make it. And you'd give it to them. And what normally would happen is that you develop friendships because of that kind of interaction. And when I went into business, it wasn't that I thought I wanted to make a living at it. I just thought if I were doing this, I'd have some people that would want to end up having me repair equipment for them. And in repairing equipment, I then would end up getting into a situation where if I were to repair it, why don't I just modify it, make it even better? So you would make something as a change, and the changes would then improve on the equipment, and then 2 other people would want it. And if 2 people wanted it, then you knew that, oh, I'm going to make 3 more, because if I've got them, maybe if I have it on a shelf, they'll say, give me one. And that's what happens. You just are constantly expanding from one point to another point to another point until eventually you've got different things that are important for somebody other people hear about. And the reflector is an umbrella, but that evolved